Okay, guys, sorry for the delay. Check my audio real quick. Y'all let me know how it sounds. Sure it's hot.
I think it's picking up on my mic.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, you can go ahead and mute. Okay, so we're going to switch over right there. Hey, sorry for the delay with that. I started the stream like 3.5 minutes ago, and Restream kept telling me I was offline. I don't know, so I had to restart Restream, and I went ahead and restarted Streamlabs, and whatever. Here we go. Oh, the joys of live streaming. I love it. I absolutely love the joys of live streaming. Good evening to everyone. Ham Radio 2.0 Sunday night live stream. I am Jason, KC5HWB.
And I'm Frank at KG5HJ. I so miss doing that. We don't do that when I'm not here.
Yeah, you don't.
You just be like, here comes Frank.
Yeah, it's not the same. I mean, we do it, but it's kind of different. So, what are you drinking tonight, Frank?
I am opening up. This is an older one, a Shiner Oktoberfest.
Ah, okay.
Probably from a couple of months ago.
Yeah, that's probably from like our September.
Yeah,
that's probably from our like September live stream or something like that.
It's been sitting in the fridge for a while.
Yeah,
I just ended my diet. A little on a personal note, lost about 10 pounds, and beer is back on.
Beer's back on the diet. Before that, you were just drinking
whiskey
because there's no calories in it.
No calories in whiskey. I think I had too much on Friday's stream. I woke up a little dried mouth.
Yeah,
I think I had about a third of that bottle.
Oh gosh, that's funny right there. Sheesh. Okay.
Ooh.
Okay, let's go here.
What are you drinking tonight?
I am drinking. I'm muting this sound behind us right now. I get tired of listening to that. Okay, right now I am drinking from Pappy Slocum Brewing Company in Abilene, Texas. This one is called Stripper Dust.
Stripper Dust.
Yeah.
Abilene, Texas.
Yeah.
Did you pick that up on the way back?
I've got some family out in Abilene. And they brought me some of this. Well, they had some of this. My cousin-in-law Scott had some of this when he was in Galveston with us. Last 2 or 3 weeks ago, we were out there, and he's like, "Do you like vanilla porters?" And I'm like, "Of course I do. That's like my favorite stuff." So he gave me this one called Stripper Dust. We had a laugh about the name. There's a long story behind that, but but he didn't know it was called that when he first got it. But his daughter and her husband live in Abilene. And at the wedding last night, the reason I was not able to attend the 40-meter cricket build on Ham Radio Crash Course last night is because I was attending a wedding for that same side of the family, and they brought me 2 6-packs of this.
Nice.
So when we were talking about it in Galveston 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was like, "Are you guys coming to the wedding in November?" They're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Bring me 2 6-packs of that." They're like, "Okay, yeah, cool." So picked that up yesterday evening. It's pretty good. So put it in the fridge when I got home last night. So this is the first one I've opened.
Nice. I just had a family thing going on. We had a birthday party. We tried to all get together because Lord knows what's going to happen in the next month or so.
That's for sure.
So it was kind of, hopefully it's not the last. But we're just treating it maybe like to be the last get together.
Right. I mean, you never can really tell with some of the stuff that goes on whether it's going to be good or not. So
to answer Philip's question in the chat, I had a Woodford Double Oaked bourbon last night.
Oh,
not last night, Friday night.
Friday night for the
and also last night, but that was not on the stream.
But that wasn't online. So so Friday night for our second monthly Ham Radio Happy Hour, which we started in October on the second Friday of the month. And we did again 2 nights ago. We had about 140 people attending us with that live stream. That was fun. Had about 8 of us in the chat, in the Zoom chat. So that was fun too. We're gonna keep that going. I've gotten some really good feedback on that.
That's a good once a month thing. I think
so. I think once a month. I think it's real good for that. So I'm gonna try to get with the guys at Amateur Radio TV because they had a live stream at 7 that night, which I didn't know about it, but I'm subscribed to their channel. So I'm looking at my phone shortly before that evening, and it notifies me. It says they've gone live on YouTube. I'm like, really? I hope I don't conflict with them. But we had this set up anyway, so it's okay. Multiple streams on YouTube for Ham Radio are not bad. But so I set that up, and I go in there, and they've got chat disabled on their live stream. And I'm like, and somebody else said, I mentioned that in the Friday night happy hour, and somebody mentioned, oh, well, they run an IRC server on their own website. Well, I went to their website that night, and I couldn't find it. I'm sure it's probably there.
It's probably buried. They want fans,
right?
Well, an IRC, that's only like Mazer geeks.
Yeah, yeah, and
nerds.
They've probably been doing that for a long, long time. Maybe before YouTube live chat was so robust. I don't know. But anyway, so I was going to go in there and invite them, say, hey, you guys, when you're done with your stream, come on, hop on to
They were
Zoom
still
chat.
going.
I know, they were still going.
They didn't go too much longer after we wrapped up.
Right, but they were going for more than 2 hours, though.
Yeah.
Because we were only on for an hour and 5 or 10 minutes. We were on for longer than that. We were on for almost an hour and a half, weren't we?
Yeah, about an hour and a half.
So, yeah.
We tried to start wrapping up at an hour and 10 minutes, and then, we go another 10 minutes.
right, talking. Yeah, just talking. So... All right. Well, Philip W0RHP is in the chat. I saw Don Izzo in the chat earlier. Let's see. Mike Smoking Ape was in there. Yeah, I saw him earlier when the chat started rolling.
Ham Radio 101, I believe, also.
Good. Thanks for joining us tonight, guys.
And Kyle, how we can forget the AA0Z.
Is he in there? I didn't see him.
He was in there earlier.
Okay, good. Good. So thanks for coming out tonight, everybody. We are going to be talking about PyStar here tonight. And we're going to set up PyStar from scratch. I'm not going to dig real deep. There's a lot of robust custom programming you can do with PyStar. I've done some of it, but I'm not an expert on it by any stretch. And I can answer some questions. So your questions that you have about PyStar tonight, go ahead and put in the chat. And Frank's going to try to answer them. He's going to try to keep a record of them, and we'll answer them as we go. That's what I'm trying to say. So, there's Kyle. AA0Z Kyle. Thanks for being here tonight, Kyle.
We got Greg from Canada, America's top at VA6GKT.
GKT, yeah.
I'm sorry. Thank you for joining us.
Awesome. Cool. Well, yeah, thanks. Yeah, definitely thanks for being here. So we're going to go with the PyStar build tonight. We're also going to be giving away a T-shirt tonight for anybody who wants to contribute to the super chat. I had a short discussion with my live chatters on Wednesday, and I was like, "You guys, let me know if that's something you want me to continue to do." And everyone put their thumbs up. Everyone give a thumbs up to that. So yeah, any super chats that go into the pot tonight, names will be put into a hat at the end of the night for a drawing for a free T-shirt. Shop.hamradio2.com. T-shirt or beer mug, or I've got some long sleeve T-shirts up there now, or a couple different hats. Got a new hat coming. Got a couple new hats coming. So that's going to be something that you see coming soon.
Something I wasn't ready for.
Oh, that's okay.
I had to go scramble.
I probably forgot to tell you.
About it. I was like, where is that link? So I'll be also now watching for any super chats.
Right. Yeah, the super chats do help move the channel forward for sure.
There we go.
So Kyle says, "I like pie and I like stars. What a great combo." Kyle, did you put your new Sherry AllStar unit together yet?
Sherry AllStar?
It's a Sherry SHARI.
Okay.
Is a purchasable device that you can set up and run as an AllStar node.
Okay.
I think it's pre-configured to I think it's pre-built. I'm going to probably pick one up and do a live. That's probably going to be one of our upcoming live streams in the next month or so. But that looks like fun. We've done two or three PyStar episodes on this live stream, and I've had really good feedback about those. We had some people connect to PyStar and to the node and give us connect to us and do QSOs with us online. I'm trying to read and talk at the same time. So we're gonna do some more with PyStar upcoming, especially when the first of the year gets here, and we're gonna be doing every Sunday.
Yep. Is that like chewing gum and walking at the same time?
Yeah.
Talking and reading at the same time?
Yeah, exactly. So All right, Denzel Gregory is starting off heavy tonight with the $19.99 super chat. Thank you very much for the super chat tonight, Denzel. Thank you for being here as well. Chester Garrett, $10 super chat. Thank you much for that. And Kyle says, yes, video coming soon. I'm going to be interested to watch that, Kyle, because I'm probably going to pick one of those up and do one myself. So really enjoy AllStar, and we're going to do some more AllStar. Yeah, so first of the year, starting in January, probably not, because Christmas and New Year's Day are both on a Friday this year. Okay, so New Year's Day is a Friday.
Okay.
Which means the 2nd and 3rd is the weekend. So that January 3rd, I probably won't start then. I'll probably start the following Sunday. And we're going to go just about every Sunday this year. The weekends that have 5 weekends, I'll probably take off the 5th weekend. So I'm probably going to go like the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th Sunday. And then if there's a 5th Sunday in the month, which not every month has those, but the ones that do, I'll give myself a break.
So we're going to do it every
week.
Every week.
Every week.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be here.
I mentioned that. Well, I mean, you don't have to be here.
Oh, I want to be here.
Okay.
I'll be here as much as I can. Okay. You know what now? In the weekends you can't make it, I will host it.
That's a fantastic idea.
We will keep this ball rolling.
That's a fantastic idea.
I have no idea what I'm going to have to say.
We're going to have to talk about that. I'm going to have to show you how to set up all this stuff, man. I mean, you can come here in the shack and do it.
I'll just do it from my place.
Do you have all the stuff?
What do you mean I have all the stuff? I talk to you on camera all the time.
Right, but you're not streaming. You're just connecting to Zoom.
I'm connecting to Zoom, but I got an OBS.
We're gonna have to
not restream. I got OBS going.
Yeah.
I haven't done a live stream yet on my channel yet.
Right, I know. Yeah. There's an art to it.
There is art to it?
You got to prepare to fail like 5 or 6 times before you get it right. Or at least I did.
Well, I think that's...
I mean, anybody who knows about live streaming on YouTube is like, yep, mess that up. Nope, that didn't work. Let's try it this way. So it's all good, though.
We want
fun.
Frank. We'll figure it out. I know I just sprung this on Jason, but we'll figure it out.
All right, DX Mini's in the chat, 556 with the super chat. Thanks for being here, Jason. Saw you in there earlier.
And he says, Frank, take another drink.
Right.
And I've been. But I got to drive home, so there's not going to be what Friday drinks.
Like 4 minutes?
Not in 4 minutes.
It's not that far. T-Man KI5BEZ with the super chat 556 and Kenneth N4VKF with this $5 super chat. Thank you for being here tonight, guys. Yes. So Tyler Robbins, Yanton DM830 was a cheap DMR bundle on eBay. Do you know anything about this radio? I don't know anything about that specific model. I've used 2 or 3 other Yantons. They are okay. They work pretty well once you get them programmed. Programming them can be a bit of a challenge on the ones I have used. So I haven't used that model. Maybe they have improved. I'm going to go on eBay. Write that down, Frank. DM830.
DM830.
Yeah. I'm going to go look that up on eBay.
I haven't heard of Yanton.
Yanton, yeah. They're kind of like a lesser-known Chinese brand of DMR radio. They're okay. Like I said, programming's the biggest problem about that. Okay. All right. Boo is 59 stream here in the Philippines. You're welcome. Hey, thanks for being here from the Philippines, man. That's really cool. Really cool of you to join us tonight. Okay, so we're going to jump in here and get started with the Pi-Star setup. Now, one thing I will say is that there are multiple types of Pi-Star hotspots in the world today. You can choose to build one. You can choose to purchase one. There's a bunch of different ones out there. Once you get into the front end or to the programming side of them, they're all basically the same, and they all basically do the same thing. The differences are going to be that some of them have screens and some of them do not. Some of them have battery. Well, one of them now has a battery. The RFinder HCP1 has a battery. I think that's the only Pi-Star hotspot that I'm aware of that has a battery. The OpenSpot 3 has a battery, but it's not Pi-Star. So as far as I know, there might be one or two others out there. I haven't tried all of them. I've tried a lot of them, but I haven't tried all of them. But the one we're going to be using tonight is this TGIF spot right here. This is the one with the smaller screen. I've got the one with the larger screen right here. I have it plugged in right now.
So that the one that you have now, it's an all-in-one package.
It is an all-in-one package. Yes. It comes with the screen. It comes with the antenna. It comes with this acrylic case around it. This is a C4 Labs case. And you can see that the larger screen on this one, the smaller screen on this was his first model. This is his newest and latest model. And he's got a USB stick on it as option as well. But tonight we're going to be using this smaller screened model because I haven't done anything with it in a while.
So does that come with Pi-Star pre-installed on the SD card?
It does.
It does. Nice.
It does come with Pi-Star. Now, yeah, in fact, you bring up a good point. Let me preface this. If you're building your own hotspot and installing the Pi-Star OS and configuring the OS from like imaging the SD card and flashing it on a Windows box or a Mac desktop and flashing it and then putting it in there and booting, we're not going to do that tonight. Well, I mean, there's ways to do that. It's not that hard, but once you boot up to Pi-Star the first time, you're going to be seeing basically what we see tonight. That's where we're gonna start from tonight.
I did a video on that, and I just put it to the posted a link on the channel.
Okay.
I built a nano MMDV board from scratch. It wasn't that hard.
Do you have it running right now?
Yes.
What talk groups have you been monitoring?
At home, I mostly monitor the Texas statewide and Texas wide, North Texas wide.
Well, that North Texas wide's not on Brandmeister. Well, are you connected to Brandmeister? Or
Brandmeister.
Okay, yeah. So North Texas wide's not on Brandmeister, but
I keyed it up.
But well, yeah, you can key it up, but there's probably nobody listening to it. It's probably not going across the repeater.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know that part.
Yeah, we'll have to bring that up on a later episode.
All right.
So we're going to be looking at this tonight, and then let me switch over here, and I've got this other view to go to. Nope.
While you're figuring that out real fast, I'm just going to give everyone a quick reminder. We are doing a t-shirt giveaway tonight to any super chat that is posted. I am watching the stream and taking names, and we're going to be randomly giving away a t-shirt or a item that Jason approves of.
Yeah.
You just got to ask.
Right, totally. Yeah. And it's probably not a big deal at all.
He did say beer mugs. Do you have whiskey mugs or whiskey tumblers?
I do not. No.
Aww.
No, just beer mugs, just 16-ounce beer glasses. And they are going to be there's going to be some more of those upcoming as well.
Ooh.
So, fun times with that. There's that. Okay, so this is the Pi-Star dashboard when you first log into it, okay? Let me preface this by saying a lot of these hotspots that have a screen will let you do, in fact, especially this one here. This guy here has a screen, and when you boot this up the first time you buy this, it's tgifspot.com is the website. You go out there and you buy this one, and I believe the smaller one does this as well, but I've not done it on the smaller one yet. This guy right here, when you boot it up the first time, there'll be a button. It's a touch screen. There'll be a button on the screen that says Scan Wi-Fi. You can scan your Wi-Fi, find your SSID, connect to it, enter your password, and connect the Pi-Star device, the hotspot device, to your Wi-Fi with never having to log into the dashboard. Okay, now not all Pi-Stars do that. The new Skybridge from Bridgecom doesn't do that because it doesn't have really kind of the same screen. There's a couple of there's a couple of really good Zoom spots, but I don't think they do that yet. One of them might. I'm not 100% familiar with those. But this TGIF spot will let you scan ambient Wi-Fi. So it's good if you're taking it on vacation, taking it somewhere, going on a road trip, and once you get destinated, you set it up and you're like, oh, hey, I want to connect to the Wi-Fi here. So you scan again, hit on, choose the SSID, enter your password, and the hotspot itself will connect to ambient Wi-Fi with just the screen, never having to log into it. So that's really fun. It does have this one has a 3+B board in it, Pi 3+B board in it. So does this one. Some of them have Pi 0 boards. You can run Pi-Star on a Pi 0 board. And the new Pi 4 board will run it too as well, obviously. But if you don't have that option, if you don't have the option to scan your ambient Wi-Fi and connect to it over the screen of your device, what you can do is Wi-Fi is Pi-Star by default is set into what's called AP mode. AP is access point mode. That is, if you want to look at this right here, let me pull this up. We're going to configuration. Access point mode is this right here, auto AP, and it is defaulted to on. So what that means is when you plug in and power up Pi-Star the very first time and it has no internet connection, if it has no internet connection either via Ethernet or via Wi-Fi, it's going to go into auto AP mode. So basically, it's going to start to broadcast an SSID called Pi-Star or something of the like. This one's set up to broadcast TGIF Pi-Star. The Skybridge, I think, is set up to broadcast Skybridge, but you can basically find it that way by connecting to, and then you take your phone, your tablet, or your laptop, and you connect to that SSID. It'll tell you, your phone or laptop will tell you, hey, there's no internet. You just say, okay, that's fine. Once you connect to your SSID, you can open a browser, and sometimes it'll open for you, and sometimes it won't. If it doesn't open for you, you can put in the IP address of 192.168.50.1, and it'll pull up this dashboard right here that you're seeing right now, and you can go into configuration right here and scroll down, and you can do a configure Wi-Fi. These are all the ones I've got configured right here now. And I can go scan networks for 10 seconds.
While that's scanning, can you bump up the volume a little bit for us?
On me?
Or all of us. I'm getting the reports of we're a little weak.
Okay. I thought I was talking too loud.
No.
Which I have a habit of doing.
Well, I know, and I have a habit of doing the opposite.
Yeah.
Of getting quiet.
Yeah. So now that I've connected via access point from my phone or tablet or laptop or whatever, and scan for networks, it'll tell me these are all the networks that it's scanned for right now. So and it's just 2.4 gigahertz. There is no 5 gigahertz in Pi-Star. At least most of them don't have that. And then you can click on select, and it'll allow you to enter the password, and then it will save it in one of these pre-configured network spots. So you can see I've got network 0. My SSID at home is QRZ. Go figure. Okay. My network in Galveston is latitude adjustment. That's the name of my house in Galveston. Hamfest vendors, I think that was when I went to the Orlando Hamcation. I don't even remember what that is. V3, I don't remember what that is, and not Paylocity, I don't remember what that is either. But you can save these SSIDs and passwords in here so that if you take the Pi-Star with you to a Hamfest or to a hotel or to somewhere else and you connect, okay, fine, you're using it, then you go back home, it'll automatically connect once it sees your home SSID Wi-Fi again because it's pre-saved in the device. So it allows you to enter and save multiple Wi-Fi networks so that you don't have to put it back into AP mode and do a scan and click on the screen or whatever and do that multiple times throughout the whole, every time you move it around and every time you use it. So let me pause there for a second. What kind of questions are we having, if any?
Got one from T-Man.
Okay.
Paraphrasing a little bit, can I use the Pi for AllStar and something else at the same time? Or is it stuck with Ham voice over IP software only?
You can use a Pi for AllStar, yes. So there's two different, okay, let me put it like this. Pi-Star is an operating system for the Raspberry Pi hardware computer, single board computer. Okay, what's called an SBC or single board computer. So Pi-Star is an operating system. That operating system allows you to use digital voice modes, and we're going to go through that here just shortly. AllStar has actually two different flavors of operating systems. One's called AllStar Link or ASL, and one's called Ham VoIP. Those operating systems will allow you to set up and configure your Raspberry Pi hardware to connect to AllStar. I don't know of anyone who has run both at the same time because they're different operating systems. Pi-Star is an operating system. Ham VoIP is an operating system. I'm not going to say it's impossible to do because likely it's probably really possible to do. You could partition a drive and do it if you got a bigger SSID SSID. If you got a bigger micro SD card, you could partition a drive so that it allows you to do a dual boot and choose which OS you want to boot into each time to use it. That wouldn't be using it both at the same time, but that would allow you to use the same device for two different applications at different times. But it is, I'm not sure of anyone who's ever done it at the same time before. I'll put it that way. Somebody in the chat says Raspbian Ubuntu is the OS. Yeah, kind of on the back end it is. They don't really use Raspbian anymore. Raspbian's the older OS. Raspbian is Debian based, which Ubuntu is Debian. You said Ubuntu. It's actually Debian based. That's why it's called Raspbian. And Pi-Star runs on top of that, but it's not really, the Pi-Star is the operating system because it when you log into it the first time, it takes over. And yeah, you've got Raspbian running on the under level. And if you're a really big Linux guru, you can probably get to that and do what you want to. There is a command line, which I'm going to show you here in a little bit, which you can go in and do command line commands. So you can run it that way. But I'm still not aware of anyone who's run Pi-Star and Ham VoIP on the same device before. So I think you're with as cheap as Raspberry Pis are, I think you're probably creating problems for yourself to try to do it all on the same board. I say get two different Raspberry Pis, put Ham VoIP on one, put Pi-Star on one, and then have two radios, one DMR D-Star and one analog for AllStar. More radios is never a bad thing.
I agree with that.
So that's the
I had several people in the chat says the Pi-Star is an application that runs on top of Linux. And then
technically that's true, but again, you can't. It's not like you boot up the Raspberry Pi and then you come to a Raspbian screen and have to log into Pi-Star. It's all automatic. The way that Pi-Star has done it.
It's streamlined.
Yes, it's streamlined.
Especially if you download these Pi-Star software
image
from the website.
Mm-hmm.
There may be a way, and I don't know what it is, to install it on top of Ubuntu or something else.
I've never seen it installed on Ubuntu, but it is an application. But for the layman, for the person who doesn't know any better, for the non-technical geek, if you guys all want to get technical and start talking about level 3 Linux crap, go over there because that's not the audience we're going for right now. Not to you, but just over there. But yeah, technically speaking, you're right. It's an application that runs on top of the OS, but the person who's not a Linux guru is never going to know that because, again, once you boot it up, it goes directly into Pi-Star and it all runs through Pi-Star. So, and the question was, can you run Ham VoIP or ASL and Pi-Star in the same box? I don't know because I've never seen anyone do that. I imagine that you probably can, but it probably is going to make it much more complicated. So I wouldn't jack with it myself. But that's me. That's me. So it doesn't go from there. So. You can do that. The cool thing about Raspberry Pis is they're not expensive, and micro SD cards are even cheaper than the Pi is. So if you screw it up, reimage it, start over again, and go from there. So you can do all kinds of good experimentation with it. So, but there are Bayo Fangs in the training video. That's funny, Tio. Oh gosh, that's good. Okay.
Yeah, we're going off on a tangent.
Yeah, we're going off on a tangent.
Model trains in the chat.
Right, yeah. Oh, that's okay. That's all right. The chat always
Lionels are awesome. That was my first and only really train sets I have.
Oh, I've never got into model trains. So, never really did that. Okay. Philip says, I'm bad. I use VI instead of Nano to edit my files. So do I. I don't like Nano. I use VI. In fact, on my Ubuntu box, I use VIM.
I hate VI,
but I never I never could get VIM to work on a Raspbian image. I think it's too watered down for it. I don't know, but I like VI better than Nano myself. But you can use either one. James Woodard says, not trying to be a jerk, just been using Linux OSs for 26 years, and bad info is bad info. Correct. But again, as I said at the beginning, this is being said to the person who doesn't know any better. So while you're technically correct, it's not going to matter, because when you boot up a Pi-Star imaged hotspot or Raspberry Pi device, it comes up to the Pi-Star. Again, you don't log into it like an application. It does it all itself. Yeah, on the back end, it is. When you go into command line, you can put in Raspbian and Debian type commands. So it's obviously running on Raspbian. But the point, that's like saying Mac OS is running on FreeBSD. It's not really Mac OS. Mac OS is not an operating system because it runs on Unix and FreeBSD. Correct. And when I tell Mac people that, it drives them nuts because they don't know what I'm talking about. But for all intents and purposes, Mac OS is the operating system. So Pi-Star works the same way. It is an application that runs on top of a Raspbian type watered down Debian based Linux OS. But for the person who's brand new to it, who cares? That's not what they care about. They care about the fact that when it boots up, it's going to go to Pi-Star. When it boots up, when you boot up AllStar Link, it's going to go to ASL and whatnot. So there we go. So, okay. It's all about Joe. In the Expert, there's a program to adjust your RX offset. How does that work? Yeah, you can do that. There we go. Okay, so yeah, now we've awakened the Linux crowd. So I'm probably going to get corrected a lot tonight because I know enough about Linux to I've gone through some Red Hat classes and I've got some.
We're still talking
Linux
about
stuff,
text editors.
I know it. I smoking ape. I opened VI1, still trying to get out. :Q ! Enter. What's so hard about that, ape? It doesn't spell anything. I understand that, but come on.
Power cord.
Yeah, power cord. There you go.
There, and we're back.
Okay, so now that we have, now that you have entered your, let me get back to the right screen over here. Now that you have entered your SSID and password information, and you click on Save and Connect, it should come back and connect to the Wi-Fi that you're in, and the application itself will reboot, and you should see it come up to where you're looking at something like this. When it reboots, it'll come to the dashboard, and then you can go to Configuration and scroll down, and you can see it's connected. This interface is up. Green text will show right here once it's connected. If it doesn't connect after you scan the SSID, enter your password, and click on Connect, and it looks like the application is stopped and restarted, if it still doesn't connect, reboot the device. I've noticed that Pi-Star is a little bit buggy. Sometimes when you make major changes to it, just doing a solid reboot will fix the issue. So if you can get back into the dashboard via the AP or via an Ethernet cable, you can go to Power here and click on Power at top, and you can click on Reboot right there and reboot it softly that way. If you have to unplug it and wait like 15 or 20 seconds to plug it back in, you can do that too. There's a lot of disagreements in the Pi-Star world right now that says if you unplug and do a what's it called? There's a word for it, but if you don't do a proper shutdown and restart, it can damage the operating system and the Pi-Star application. I have read numerous accounts of that online. I have never had it happen to me. And every time you go in and make changes in the command lines part of the OS or of the in the back-end Linux command line, you have it's automatically in read-only mode, and you have to physically change it to read-write mode. RPI-RW enter changes it to read-write mode because by default it's in RPI-RO read-only mode. So to me, it doesn't really make a lot of sense that that it's going to mess up something in the operating system by powering it down by just unplugging it and waiting half a minute and plugging it back in to reboot. But again, I've never had that happen to me, but some other people have sworn up and down that it will happen to them. My suggestion is always do a proper shutdown and restart if you can. Sometimes it locks up. You don't have that information. You don't have that ability. I've had that happen on my Windows box. And yes, I've had it happen on a Mac. My church uses Macs, and we have Macs lock up, and you have to the power to them sometimes. But try to do a proper shutdown and restart anytime that you can on any OS. It can mess up stuff, in theory. And if you mess up an operating system, a free Pi-Star operating image. Raspbian, okay, let's put it this way. A free Raspbian operating system running Pi-Star in the image that you can download and re-image again on a $10 micro SD card. Okay, big deal. But yeah, you can, so try to do it as much as you can. Try to do a proper shutdown and restart as much as you can. Ape says, I had a card go corrupt. I've had cards go corrupt for no reason at all. In fact, for no apparent reason at all. In fact, this one right here, you can't really see it. I suggest, as much as you can, don't use those solid black micro SD cards that you can get on Amazon. Those things have more trouble than these. If you can see this right now, this was one of those gray
Samsung
or green. I think this one's a Samsung card, but those green ones that are I forget the name of them, but those but the ones that are solid black tend to not work as well as the ones that either the green or the red ones that you can get on Amazon, which are a little bit more expensive, but they just kind of work better in my opinion. So use what you got, but just FYI, that's been my experience. So let's find this again there.
While
okay.
You're digging that up, we're still doing the Super Chat, the Super Tech T-shirt giveaway.
Yeah.
We're up to 9 entries.
Cool. Good deal. Okay.
And we got, someone says the Micro Center SD cards are pretty bad too.
I don't think I've used a Micro Center SD card.
I'm using one now. I haven't had too many issues.
Okay.
But I think I got, no, that's a SanDisk. I have connection issues sometimes. I got to push it in and out until it reads it.
SanDisk. I've had good luck with SanDisk. I'm trying to remember what the, I'll just take this out of here real quick. Yeah, see, this one's a red one.
Well, I believe they're so cheap now. You roll the dice if there's going to be good.
That's true. Yeah, this one, this red and gray one I have in this device is a SanDisk, and those are pretty good. I can't remember the brand on the black ones, but those are the ones that I have had trouble with. And honestly, the ones I've had trouble with, the times I've had trouble with the black micro SD cards has been in my drone. My drone takes a micro SD card, and it seems to work much better with the SanDisk green ones than it does with the black ones. So they're pretty cheap. All of them are. Spend a couple extra bucks and get a name brand that you recognize. It would be my suggestion. So let's see.
A USB boot. That's interesting.
Yeah,
the new Pis.
Mm-hmm. IKO4 says, I have a bucket of SanDisk 16 gigabytes card. Yeah. Chester says it's best to use name brands such as SanDisk. That I would agree with that. You don't need anything as big as 16 or 32 gigs to run in the Pi-Star. I think this one's an 8 gig. Of course, you can use a bigger one if you want to, especially if you're going to try the dual boot thing we were talking about a minute ago. But I just suggest getting something. Don't buy a brand on Amazon that you've never heard of. Use something that's recognizable. That would be my advice there. So once we get in here, let me go back to the screen. Once we get in here, once you get booted up and you get it connected to your internet, and of course with these devices that actually have a Pi 3 Plus, and 4 boards, even the Pi 2 board, you have an Ethernet cable. If you want to save yourself some headache about searching for APs and entering passwords, plug an Ethernet cable from the Pi-Star device into your home router, and then log into your home router and find out what IP it is, and just go to that IP and set it up from there. You can do that as well. There's multiple ways to do it. Do it however you are most comfortable. Would be my advice. So once you get in here, you're going to see that the WLAN 0, which is the wireless LAN, is up. This is, it says interface up right there. And then it says IP address. That's my IP address right there. So I can browse to the, yeah, I see it right there. I can browse to the Pi-Star dashboard by entering the IP address in a browser. I have found that this host name right here, which this one is TGIF Pi-Star, I have found that works sometimes. It generally speaking, I just go find the IP and use that, because like right there, I just tried to use it and it pulled up Google. I can try .local.
I think you need a dot local.
It still doesn't work. It really depends on the router you're using at home or the router that you're using. If you're in a hotel room, I've never gotten it to work in a hotel room.
I will agree with you. I could not get the host name .local to work. It always brought me and tried to Googling it.
Right.
Maybe it's Chrome, but
could be Chrome.
I've always needed to go to the
I always just use the IP address just because it's just so much simpler. Especially if you're using one of these with the screen. The screen will tell you what the IP address is. Okay, there's a screen on the new RFinder HCP1. There's a screen on both of these TGIF spots. There's a screen on one or two of the Zoom spots. There's several other brands. If you build your own and get a Nexion screen for it, there you go. So if your screen is configured properly, it will tell you the IP address on the front of the the device, so you don't even have to guess about it. You don't have to log in your router and figure it out. It'll just come up and it'll just type that IP address, the internal 192.168 internal IP address into a browser, and it will come up and be just fine. I find that's much easier than trying to jack around with the host name of it. I rarely get that to work.
Philip in the chat says Edge does the same thing, does a search for it. So the .local doesn't seem to be working as well.
Yeah, I don't use Edge because I hated Internet Explorer with a passion so much that I know that Edge is not Internet Explorer and it's supposed to be much improved and all that, and I just 2 decades of Internet Explorer sucking completely has just.
I don't think
really
he's advocating for it. He was just saying.
I'm just saying. Well, yeah, okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
I'm going to say he's not advocating for Edge.
Yeah.
He's already tried the other browser thing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I'm hoping.
I just by the time you do all that, you could just look up and look up your IP. People are talking about IP scanners in there. You can get one of those too. There's apps on your phone. You can get an IP scanner that scans all the IPs on your app.
Log into your router.
Yeah.
It'll be fairly obvious what the new device is.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless you're at my house and there's like 20 devices on my network.
Yeah. So, okay, let's go back over here. All right. So when we come up to the dashboard's the first thing you're going to see. And it's not prompting me for a username and password when I click on configuration because I've already logged into it and it's saving that info. But when you click on configuration, generally you'll get a pop-up window right here that asks for a username and password. The username is always going to be pi-star, and the password is raspberry, all lowercase.
Yes.
Now you can go in there and change that, and I suggest that you do, especially if you're going to set it up and run it full-time at your home. But that's the general configuration, is pi-star is the username and raspberry is the password. And once you get in there, you see this pi-star digital voice configuration dashboard. It comes up here. You've got the option up here for D-Star repeater or MMDVM host. I have never used D-Star repeater in pi-star. Way back when, before DMR and Fusion were around, D-Star was the only digital voice mode in amateur radio for a while, and it was much more watered down back then. It just wasn't as updated as what pi-star wasn't. It wasn't as robust as it is now. But they have done a very good job keeping up with the times, making updates, applying updates. You can see right here, my dashboard is 2019 1016, so my dashboard's about a year old. That's because I haven't used this hotspot lately. So if I wanted to update my version of pi-star, this is where your dashboard version right here at the top right corner, that tells you what version of the dashboard you're running, and what version of pi-star you're running is right next to it, 3.4.17. So if I wanted to update, I could click on update right here, and this will update my dashboard and everything. So it'll go through and it does all this by itself. It's very easy to do. You just click on update. It runs a script. You see all these Linux commands coming in there where it's updating files and downloading this and blah, 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 and just let it go. Just let it go. Sometimes it'll take a while. Sometimes it's pretty quick. It just kind of depends. So while that's going.
Yeah, it says reverting, update not successful.
I wasn't even looking at it. Sometimes it'll say that. Sometimes it'll say that, and it'll retry itself.
I think it's retrying right now.
Yeah. So it's rare that I've had one of those fail. Usually it'll go through, even if it.
Did we sacrifice a goat to the demo gods?
I don't know. Not a goat. I think I killed a cockroach in my house like a week or so ago.
We'll see if it's fresh.
Okay. All right. Oh boy. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I'm not getting many questions right now.
Okay.
Everyone's still kind of talking back and forth. There's several mentions about Ham Pie, but I'm trying to deploy it.
Ham Pie's good.
What else we got going on?
Okay.
And thanks for reminding me. We're doing super chats.
Yeah.
A super chat T-shirt giveaway.
Yeah, IKO4, he donates $4.99. He says, "Go buy a Transcend 16 gigabyte 400X card." Wow, that's fast. Shoot, man, my SD cards I use in my camera are only like 100X. Of course, I've had them a while, but they work perfectly fine. I record HD video with that. Ham Pie is really good. We had Dave from the Ham Pie Project on this show talking to us with all the stuff that Ham Pie will do. Okay, that's finished. Okay, when it finishes like this, again, this is what I like to do. You don't necessarily have to do this, but if you see nothing's changed up at the top, I like to reboot. Because rebooting never hurt anything.
Wow,
that way you
look
get
at those buttons.
Fresh boot.
And
it's just it's easier. So we're going to let that go for a minute. If ever you have something that does not work in Pi-Star, I suggest rebooting. And then try it again. So it's essentially just running apt-get update, apt-get distribution update. Yes, that's correct. Yeah, the same way that you would update a Debian or Ubuntu box.
But it's doing it for us, so for the laymen and
once again,
common folk.
I do a lot of videos on YouTube, guys, and the common denominator that I've done is that when I do something that's a little bit too complex, I always have people come by and ask me I've never done this before. How do you start from scratch? That's why the title today is starting from scratch. So, yeah, there's probably a lot of people in the chat that know a lot more about Linux than I do. This is not a Linux how-to session on YouTube, okay? It's not a Linux how-to channel. This is how to set up Pi-Star and get it to actually work for someone who may not know how to use Linux. So, but it is...
Well, this Pi-Star is all GUI-based, web-based, or interface through the small little screen. You're not doing anything. You don't even think about it running Linux behind the scenes. You're not going to need to know any of it.
Right. Yeah, if you're scared of Linux, if you're not sure what to do, don't worry about that. Use the graphical user interface, or what's called a GUI, on top of it. And that's all you really got to do. Okay, so now, after updating, we're on dashboard 2020-1028, which is like 2 weeks old.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay.
So it did work.
And we're still on Pi-Star 3.4.17, which is okay. That's fine. Okay, so that's where we are. I'm going to click on configuration. It's going to still give me the modem issue. Okay, that's fine. And then it comes back. And you see how it only took like 2 or 3 minutes to do that. So you can check for updates manually. There's probably a way to go in there and set it to automatically check. I've got so many hotspots that I don't run all of them all the time. So every time I boot one up, and I didn't update this one today on purpose. I wanted to show it on the screen. So I just run an update, let it go, reboot it, and boom, you're done. So you don't have to worry about it. So these are all your... I mentioned D-Star Repeater and MMDVM host. It comes up as MMDV host. By default, I would just leave it there unless you're trying to build a D-Star repeater, in which case I've never done that. Don't know how to use it. Maybe somebody in the chat. If somebody in the chat wants to come on and tell us how to build a D-Star repeater sometime, maybe that's can be another live stream episode upcoming. It also has a point here for simplex node and duplex repeater. Now you'll see simplex node is chosen by default. This radio button is lit up here on the left. Duplex repeater is not chosen. So the difference here is that this unit here is a simplex hotspot, and you can tell it's simplex because it's only got one antenna. Okay, duplex hotspots, which I don't have mine right here. No, it's behind the curtain. Duplex hotspots will have 2 antennas generally. The new R Finder's duplex, but it's got internal antennas, so you can't even see them. DX Mini had a duplex hotspot, one of the last hotspots they made. I really liked that hotspot, and I still use mine. That's the main one that I use duplex-wise. So you can use it. So you can use a duplex hotspot for two different reasons. Number one, if you're a DMR user, it'll allow you to use both time slot 1 and 2 at the same time, just like a DMR repeater, duplex repeater. Okay. Or if you're interfacing this Pi via USB, one of these USB device ports here, directly to the back of a repeater, you're going to use duplex repeater as well. And I actually have one of these Pis, not the TGIF spot, but an STM32 board connected to the back of my Bridgecom repeater inside, and it has duplex repeater selected because it's actually connecting to an actual repeater. It's not acting as a hotspot. It's connecting to an analog repeater and turning that repeater into a digital voice repeater that I can do DMR, D-Star, whatever on. So simplex node is what generally people will click on, and again, that's what it defaulted to. That's generally if you're using D-Star or Yaesu System Fusion or NXDN, you're going to want that. If you don't have a hotspot with 2 antennas coming out of it, then you're probably going to want that also. Then you just use single time slot DMR, and it's all good. Let's see. Okay, just checking the chat there real quick. People are just rambling by, and that's good. Good to see everybody here tonight. Thanks for the participation in the truck. So back over here. Okay, so the next screen down is MMDVM host configuration. This is where you would configure DMR, D-Star, YSF. You get YSS for Yaesu System Fusion. I got an email from a guy today that asked me how he could connect his hotspot to WiresX. And at the time of this recording, there is no way to connect a hotspot directly to WiresX. You can connect to YSF and FCS reflectors using the System Fusion protocol, but you can't connect directly to WiresX without an actual WiresX HRI 200 box or a repeater or something like that. I'm not going to go too deep into that right now, but there's a lot of guys out there that are running their WiresX systems that have a cross connect to an FCS reflector so that people with hotspots can get into the WiresX system, and people with WiresX systems can talk to the guys on the hotspot and vice versa. So you can do it, but but you need more than just a hotspot to do it. Okay, so there's a roundabout way to do it that you can do on the back end. Same way that we take Brandmeister Talk Group 31488 and connect it directly to the Texas Nexus WiresX room. Or actually, we're connecting it to the Texas Nexus FCS reflector, which then they connect to the WiresX room on the back end. So there's a way to do it, but you can't do it just with your hotspot by itself. So you've got P25 mode, you've got NXDN mode, YSF2 DMR. This will allow you to take a Yaesu System Fusion radio and use it to connect through the Pi-Star into a DMR network. YSF to NXDN, same thing. You take your System Fusion radio, connect it into an NXDN network. This is what's commonly called transcoding. So it transcodes a YSF signal or a Yaesu System Fusion signal into another protocol. YSF to P25, DMR to YSF. So you can take your DMR radio, your little cheap Bofang or TYT MD380 type radio, and set your hotspot to translate from DMR to YSF, and you can connect into a Yaesu System Fusion YSF or FCS reflector. DMR to NXDN, same thing. POXAG is an old paging service. I don't know much about it. There's some videos about it on YouTube. You can go look that up. I've never actually used it myself. And then the MMDVM display type, this right here is generally, if you're going to build your own hotspot, this is generally something you would set yourself. If you purchase a hotspot like this, it's going to be set for you. And this depends on what screen you have attached to the hotspot. And if you have no screen attached to the hotspot, then that field doesn't matter. In fact, sometimes it might even be grayed out. I'm going to change that to Nexion because it was turned off. So that's that's an MMDVM display. That depends on the screen that's attached to your hotspot. It doesn't have anything to do with what network you're connecting to.
One thing on that configuration screen that it took me a couple times to realize, you can't change every section and hit save once. You got to finish your changes in a section, hit save, let it kind of do a soft reboot,
right,
and then go on to the next section. You can't just edit the page with a bunch of changes and click one of them and think it applies to them all, because it'll only apply that section and all your other changes will gone back.
Right. Yeah. So what it does is it stops services and it applies changes, then it restarts your services on the back end.
Yeah.
That's what it's doing. But yes, good point there. And I think somebody mentioned in the chat about running too many, they said all these different options. You can run multiple options at the same time. You can set your hotspot up to run DMR, DStar, YSF, P25 all at the same time. I don't suggest doing that typically and I really don't suggest doing that on a repeater. And the reason is because all of your DMR users driving down the road listening to your repeater, they're not going to be able to hear activity on YSF or P25 or NXDN when those users are using the repeater. And there's always a lag time after the transmission ends, after the conversation ends. There's a lag time where if you try to key up the repeater in another mode, it might not key up. And it can create issues. If two guys are talking on DStar and you've got DStar and DMR selected, two guys are talking on DStar, maybe they'll take a 2 or 3 minute pause. They get out of the car or something. They said, "I'll be right back." And then two other guys get on their DMR and start talking. Well, when the DStar guys come back and try to talk again, they're not going to hear the DMR activity on their DStar radios, so they're not going to know that the repeater's in use, and they're going to try to key it up and get bonked, and they're going to get frustrated. And unless everybody understands and knows that it's a multi-mode repeater and you might have different stuff here and there, I have found that it's problematic to run multi-modes on a repeater like that. If you want to run it on your own hotspot at the house, more power to you. Go for it, because you know you're probably the only one using it and you know what you've set up. But on a repeater, I usually suggest, just set up a different repeater and give DStar access to all the DStar guys 24/7. Same thing for DMR, same thing for YSF. That's my opinion. People may not agree, and that's okay.
Temporary offline says Pi zeros are not powerful enough for more than one mode.
That's probably true. Yeah, that's probably true. This is a Pi 3 plus B board, so I don't have that problem. And there might be some restrictions on the radio buttons you can click in a Pi 0 Pi star device. That's very possible. Yeah, because a Pi 0 is not nearly as powerful as a Pi 3, Pi 3 plus B, and the Pi 4 boards for sure. So Dan says, gonna do enough research to freeze myself from buying any.
Yeah,
good idea.
That usually happens to me.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll spend one more night researching this.
Right, totally.
That's what I'm doing on the Arrow antenna right now.
Yeah, that's a good
idea.
idea.
Buy one, then I was like, all right, let me look something else up. That's
a good idea. All right, the next section down is your general information section. Again, this is your host name, which we already discussed that. I found that to be problematic. I just like to use the IP. That's me. If you're running a custom DNS server on your own network, you'll probably not have any problems with this at all. I'm not running a custom DNS server on my own network, so I'm not doing that. But some people who are smarter than me can get that to work, and that's great. I think if you want to do that, then go for it. I've got better things to do with my time than worry about a host name on a Pi star, but that's me. The node call sign that comes up is Mike 1 Alpha Bravo Charlie. That's just a generic call sign that comes up in there. So you put your own call sign in there, just like that. The radio frequency, you can kind of set where you want to. Just don't set it on something that's going to interfere with something else. So I would suggest, do some listening on an analog, on the analog side of the frequency for a day or two, or maybe like an hour or two. Make sure there's no digital noise that you can hear. And if it's a quiet frequency, go ahead and choose that. Generally speaking, if you're just going to be at home, it's not going to be that big of a deal, and you're not running a lot of power. I've been running mine on 434.450 for a long, long time. And I've never had any interference at home. So I'm going to stick with that. Your latitude and longitude, you can set those in here if you want to. Your town. Grapevine, Texas. Country is, U.S. Okay, good. URL here doesn't really do anything other than just if you go into if you're connecting to like maybe an APRS system, which you can get to. There's a host down there which you can choose, and maybe to the Brandmeister dashboard, it might be able to see that somehow. If you've got your own, you want to put your own QRZ page in there, or you want to put your own website in there, you can do that. It doesn't really change anything specifically for the way the Pi-Star operates from your end. So you can change that if you want to. I'm not going to jack with that. We're going to go to radio modem type here, and we're going to pick STM32-DVM, MMDVM _HS, Raspberry Pi Hat GPIO. That's generally the most common one used. There's some others that you can see. There's a big list in here. DV Mega has some. ICOM repeater controller, GMSK modem, DV repeater. There's a DVAP, which is an old USB stick. Again, Pi-Star will run on a lot of different stuff. Okay, so if you're using a Raspberry Pi 3 or 4 board, generally speaking, you're gonna be running this STM32 DVM board.
So this does your node there have that printed on the back of it somewhere?
When you
modem type to use?
Yes,
it does.
When it doesn't have this printed on it, but with the instruction, the setup instructions that come with the TGIF, that is in there. In fact, if you purchase a TGIF spot, they will set all this stuff up for you. Okay, they will set it all up for you. If you don't mind giving them your SSID and password, they'll even set up your own Wi-Fi for you. Now, I don't like to do that. I'm smart enough to connect things to my own Wi-Fi. I've got a pretty robust internal network at home, so I don't like to do that. But they will, if you're the type of person who says, I don't really care, some guy set up my network, I don't really know much about it, they'll set that up for you so that when you get the hotspot, all you got to do is plug and play. But that's not the purpose of today's video. Today's video is to show you how to do all this. So node type is public and private. It's defaulted to private. If you were going to put this node on the back of a public repeater and put it 200 feet on a 200-foot tower, then you'd want to change it to public. But realistically, this doesn't matter much at all as far as the way the operation of the device works. APRS host, I like it. It defaults to euro.aprs2.net, which is Europe. I like to change this to something in the USA that's closer to me. Get a little bit better signal. There's one in Arkansas. There's an Arkansas one right there. I thought that there was one. Nope. I thought there was one in Dallas, but I'm not seeing it now. Okay. I'm just going to go to the Arkansas one because that's pretty close to me. Right there. My time zone, which is America, Chicago. That's correct. That's my correct time zone. Dashboard language is defaulted to English UK. You can change that to English US if you want. English UK is not much different as far as the terminology on the Pi-Star device goes. And then we're going to apply changes there as well. And I'm going to let that stop and restart services and go from there.
That will take about 20 seconds. That's usually normal.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, on when I was setting up my MMDVM board, and that took me about 40 minutes to get the right modem type because it wasn't really printed clearly on it. I had a couple of call signs, but I was clicking on the one that says Pi, not Nano, and I thought the Nanos were the small 2-inch by 1.5 inch boards because they're the smaller, and I had that.
Generally, that's true.
And then I had the full size board that was almost the size of the Pi.
Okay.
So I was like, well, this is not the Nano, and I didn't select it, and finally, I just started clicking some, and finally it started working. I was like, oh, I guess this is a Nano board.
Yeah. Okay, so the Smoking Ape says the board has the modem type printed on it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably true. But again, I don't see it right now. I didn't put this together. It came pre-assembled in this C4 Labs case. I don't see it on the bottom of the board. It's probably on the top of the board, which I can't see right now inside of this case. But it came with an instruction, setup instruction that told you what the correct modem was. So again, it depends on if you're buying one or building one. Okay, and if you're buying one, whoever you're buying from should tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
Bridgecom Skybridge, Zoom Spot from HRO, TGIFspot.com, N5BOC makes a good hotspot. He's here in Texas. Evan, is it Evan or Ethan in the Ham Radio Crash Course that makes a custom hotspot, and those are pretty decent looking hotspots. So that'll be given to you on the purchased product information that you buy, whatever you buy from. The public-private thing is only for England. You always use public. Oh, well, I'm not in England.
Well, I was wondering, what's that option really for?
I don't know. I would have used public if it was on a public repeater that multiple people were going to be using. I've never changed mine from private though. I use mine on private all the time. And again, that's what it defaults to.
Does that lock it to a call sign? Does that?
No.
No.
I don't know exactly what that does. I've never researched that part of it. So it doesn't affect however the Pi-Star works as a hotspot. So it doesn't. To me, it's never really been worth researching. So Doug says, only run on a Pi 0, never tried a Pi 3. Will I notice any major yeah, it's definitely, yeah, I think that's what Tank is saying. And
temporary offline.
Yeah, I think that's what TO was talking about as well.
It runs much faster.
It's faster. It's much faster on the boot process. The Pi 3 and 4 boards also have an Ethernet connector. So if you want Wi-Fi only, Pi 0 is great. This will do Wi-Fi. Pi 0 will do Wi-Fi. That's fine. If you want something that's hardline Ethernet, this has that option where Pi 0 doesn't. So it depends on what you're trying to do. So
IK04 says it's weird privacy laws.
That's one reason they can't use radioid.net and they have to use the hamdigital.dl, I think it is. That I think that's what it is. But yeah, it's the privacy laws in the UK. There's some, I've read a little bit about that. I'm not privy with them all. Denzel says, where can I buy DVM boards in bulk? That's a good question. I don't know. I've never tried. Contact W9DXM Whiskey 9 Delta X-Ray Mike Jason. He used to build the DX Mini hotspots, and he used to buy this stuff in bulk. I think when you say bulk, I don't know how many you mean. Do you mean like 10 or 100? There might be a difference. I don't know if you can get them in 100, quite frankly. But I've never tried to buy them in bulk, so I'm not sure. Okay, all right. So let's go back over here. So now that it's rebooted, here's all my information that's saved. All of this stuff right here, this firewall configuration, this is all the default stuff. Dashboard access is private. In other words, you can't get to it from outside of a public IP from the wide area network as opposed to the local area network. You can turn that on and set like a special username and password for it if you want to. I've never tried to jack with that. I've got a way to get into my network from anywhere anyway. I don't need a way specifically to get into my hotspot. IRC DB gateway remote is set to private. SSH access is also set to private, and meaning that you can't connect to the device via an SSH PuTTY type session from outside of the device. So I'm going to show you in the dashboard here where you can actually go into an SSH session inside of the device itself, but you can turn that to public and open it up to more access if you want to. Auto AP is on. That's what I was talking about. So if it ever loses internet connection, it's going to assume that you have traveled outside the Wi-Fi area, and it will turn on its own automatic access point and allow you to connect to it, do a rescan of Wi-Fi, and connect to another network if you want to. And then UPnP is on by default. Do you want your Pi to create its own firewall rules for use with D-Star? So that's a D-Star thing. But that is basically what you need there. Now, what you can do also is you can go into, so if we click on admin mode, we've got all this stuff here, and it's just kind of a different view. You can see which, also, see these modes enabled? They're all gray right now. That's because when I was in here, I didn't click on any of this. All of these are turned off right now. So I'm going to click on DMR mode, and I'm going to save that, apply changes.
I thought we're doing D-Star.
No, I'm not doing D-Star. Why would I do D-Star?
Oh.
I don't know. I could do D-Star. I did D-Star the other day. I was using my 705 on D-Star the other day through a hotspot. Okay, so now, once I apply that MMDVM host configuration, it adds another menu down here underneath the general configuration, which we already set. It adds this DMR configuration. If I would turn on D-Star or YSF, it would add those down here as well. These don't light up until you actually click the button on. So now I can choose which server I want to connect to. And I've got, let's see, all these servers. These are HB Link servers, presumably. There's Seabridge 2.0. That's my server. Crazy Horse Network. I've always wondered what that is. Crazy Horse Network.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's in there. I didn't put that in there. That was in there by default. If anybody knows what Crazy Horse Network is, put it in the chat. So these are a bunch of DMR Plus servers here. There's TGIF network right there. And Brandmeister, let's see, Brandmeister. There it is. United States, there's 3 of them. 3101, 3102, 3103. Generally, I connect to 3103 just for the heck of it. I used to connect to 3102 because I think that one's in Texas. It was having some problems at some point in time, and I started using 3103 and never went back. You can set your DMR ESS ID, which is, what that means is, it is going to use, okay, oh, here's something else that came up. Okay, I forgot about that. In the general configuration, this CS7 DMR ID was not here before I turned on this DMR mode. Okay, so now it wants me to enter my DMR ID. 317-48141. That's one of my DMR IDs. That's the one I use for all my hotspots. Okay, so now what it will do, and this is useful if you have multiple hotspots running at the same time. Number one, if you have multiple hotspots running in the same location, on the same mode at the same time, all powered up, you're going to want to make sure they're all on different frequencies. Okay, otherwise you're going to create a boot loop. You don't want to do that. Okay, so if you're going to run multiple hotspots, that's okay, but you're going to want to make sure they're on different frequencies, number one. The second thing you can do is change this DMR ESS ID, the extended ID, to make your DMR ID 8 or 9 digits long. So what I can do is I can put, if none is selected, then when this hotspot connects to the network, it's going to show up as 3148141. If I click on this and I say, okay, this is going to be 01, then it will show up on the network as 314814101. And it'll add 2 digits to the back of my DMR ID. That way, if I have multiple hotspots on, if I got one in my car, if I got one that sits down in Galveston at my house down there, and that I leave down there, which I don't, but if I did, I could put one at the Deer Lease if we had full-time internet there, which we don't. And then I could have 1 or 2 running at the house, have all these hotspots connected at the same time, hopefully on different frequencies. But then, as long as they're not showing up on the Brandmeister network with the same exact ID, then it will cause less confusion on the Brandmeister network, and I'll be able to kind of make a list of which one is where. I'll know where all my stuff is. And if one of them goes down, I'm like, oh, that one went down. That's the one at this location. So I know which one it is. So that's a good way to keep, if you've got multiple hotspots, to keep them all separated. You can set the DMR color code from 1 to 15, just like any repeater, just like any radio. The default used to be 1 on the earlier editions of Pi-Star that I used to run. There wasn't a way to change the color code. They used to, all hotspots used to be color code 1. Now you can change it, which is really good. I generally leave mine on 1 anyway, just for the heck of it. Sometimes I'll change it to 9. The Pi-Star device I have running on the back of my Bridgecom repeater is set to color code 9, and all of my other DMR repeaters are set to color code 9 just because I just wanted to set it to something different. No reason behind that. So now we can click on Apply Changes and wait for it to refresh again.
While that's refreshing, Philip asks, can he use the same frequency if he has different color codes?
Yeah, you can, but why would you want to do that? Because if that frequency is being used up on color code 1, then your other hotspot on the same frequency on a different color code is not going to hear anything because it's going to be blanked out by that frequency. So in other words, if you've got that frequency being used and your hotspot is transmitting, you got one radio listening to traffic, then your other hotspot that might be transmitting on another color code, you might not hear it. So I think it would, I've never tried it, but from what I know about how color codes and frequencies work, I think it would cause some issues. I think it would be better if you just change the frequency by like 25 kilohertz. Instead of 434.450, use 434.475 or something. Something like that. So let's see. Yeah, the drop down doesn't show. I don't know why. I think I know why that does. Okay, hold on. Let me change this.
What drop down are they talking about?
This they're talking about this right here. Like when I click on that, it's not showing up in the screen there.
Oh, that one?
Yeah.
And only that one?
No, all of them.
All of them?
All of them.
Oh.
Okay. So let me change this. Let me try this real quick. I know why. It's because it's a window capture in Streamlabs. Display capture. Add.
While he's doing that, let's go ahead and just say we're doing a t-shirt giveaway. And these super chats that you donate, I'm taking names and I'm putting them into the donation list for we're going to do a drawing at the end of the night. And also don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button because we are very thankful for all that.
Helps with the algorithm. Okay, so let's change this view real quick. There we go. Okay, now if I go drop down here, this should show up right here. Okay, you should see that right there. Yep. So now I'm choosing, this is, I was talking about the Crazy Horse Network that's down at the bottom here. Crazy Horse Network.
I Googled it. A lot of people in forums asking, what is Crazy Horse?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I'll connect to it one of these times and do it.
I'm not mentioning what's been said about the chat about Crazy Horse.
Oh, well, yeah. Let's keep it appropriate, please.
Oh, it was appropriate.
Okay. Let's see. I'm going to make a network called Crazy Ape. Think about that one for a second. So I'm choosing Brandmeister United States 3101. You can choose this. These are the numbers that go on the back of your device. Goes from 01 to 99. So there's 99 of those. Choose one. Color code is here from 0 to 15. This is like your program when you're programming your code plug for your radio. And then we'll just go ahead and apply changes and let that refresh again. Dawn says, in the last 5 minutes, I upgraded my DX Mini to 4.1.2. Awesome. That's cool.
Nice.
Let's see. Frank's taking names.
Yep.
That's good.
I couldn't come up with a good second thing to say on that.
Oh, see, now I'm doing display capture, so I can't even look at that anymore. Okay, let's in fact, let's go back here and let's go, because I like to look at that.
Well, you can pop that out
over here.
Oh, then okay, never mind.
And put it down. Okay, all right, that's better. So okay, so we're back over here, and this is your DMR ID, and that's that. So now we're connected up. So now if I go to admin, if I click on admin here, you can see that and I don't ever use this view. I mean, it shows you some extra stuff. Shows you gateway activity, local RF activity. It's just a different default view. The modes enabled. These should be green. I don't know why that's not green right now. Pi-Star Watchdog. Let's go back to configure there. Bump. Hotspot security. I wonder if I have to. Let's try that. I don't think you got to do that. If not, I'll connect elsewhere. You have to put a password in there.
Password for what?
For the Brandmeister server.
No. Passwords.
I didn't think so either, but it's showing up. It was not connecting to it, so I don't know why.
While you do that, Naughty Robot asks, are there other Pi-Star or Pi-Star-like software out there? Is there any other options for hotspots?
Yeah. There's the OpenSpot, and there's what's called Blue DV. So let's change that to 15.
I don't think I changed any of that on mine.
You shouldn't have to change that, but I don't know. It's not. Maybe I'm not giving it long enough to connect, or maybe the Brandmeister 3103 server is not working properly right now. I don't know. That's happened before.
I've also seen a lot of mentions of how hot your Pi is running.
What, this right here?
Yeah,
that's normal. It's normal for sitting in the shack. We're in Texas, guys. So let's
go to the dashboard. Let's see what it says.
Dashboard here. Yeah, see, these are red. No, these should be green. If I was connected, these would be green right now. This says enabled. It's enabled, but I'm not actually.
From what I'm told, if DMR, anything under the DMR type, if it's any words sitting there, it's connected fine. Something else is misconfigured.
I don't think that's correct. I think it's let's see. That should be.
Just out of curiosity, look at your town. I think that was a city and grid square, but I don't think it will matter as far as connecting on it.
It doesn't. It doesn't matter for. No, I've always put Grapevine, Texas in mine.
Okay.
I just leave it as Grapevine, but that's not it. That wouldn't keep it from connecting. So I might just not be waiting long enough. Sometimes it takes it a minute.
It should come right on up.
Mm.
Temporary offline. Texas, drink.
Yeah. Yep. I think my beer got kind of warm. I think I want to do that right now.
No.
But
if it's a good microbrew, warm beer shouldn't be an issue.
Well, that's true. All right, let's try something else. This is normal, guys. I mean, sometimes if you get stuff that comes up, you just kind of have to try different configurations and whatnot.
Still same thing. I missed the dashboard.
Yeah, still same thing. So, yeah, I'm going to switch servers here. A lot of changes. Patience is the hardest part with the software, Tio says. That's for sure. Yeah. Once you get Pi-Star set up and running, it's great. It's great once you get it configured and get it running and get everything the way you want it. It'll run forever. But sometimes getting it up where you want to is a bit challenging.
Doug, I do not know what 31.5 Celsius is. That does not compute.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's 56.4 Celsius right here. So it's a little bit warm in here right now, but that's just because I don't have the air conditioner on. If I turn the air conditioner on, it makes some noise in the camera a lot of times. So if I feel the hotspot, it's a little warm, but it's not like, I can hold it. It's not too bad. All right. It still doesn't like, yeah, see these where it's red right here, that should be green right now.
Uber Geek says, did you put your username and password in the expert or expected fields in the admin panel?
You shouldn't have to.
That's, I guess, if you're trying to log in with a particular one.
No, that should be default. You shouldn't have to do that. Let's see.
Philip says he's using 3102 right now.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have logs?
Yeah, but I'm not going to go that route with it. Let's see. I'm just going to go back here, and I'm going to change it to. There. Of course, what did I say earlier? Reboot? Reboot. So that's probably what I should do is reboot it. That's still showing. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Sometimes it takes it a second, but it shouldn't really. It was on that BM 1303 for a while. So what I'm going to do is go back over here. I'm going to go back to 3103. I'm going to apply changes. Yeah, Don says, when in doubt, reboot. Yeah. Yeah, that is for sure.
Have you tried turning it on and off?
Right, exactly. Yeah. Just like that. Okay, now I'm going to go here. And now I'm going to sit here and wait for a couple of minutes. So what do we got in the chat, Frank?
Talking talking about Celsius over Fahrenheit.
Oh, yeah.
William says he's been trying to use the mini HDMI port with a mini monitor on his Pi Zero, and the dashboard keeps going to a command line.
Oh, it might not be configured to run to transmit the GUI over HDMI. I've never used the HDMI port on a Pi-Star device. It's supposed to work, but I've not used it.
Naughty Robot says never do a live demo. We sacrifice a cockroach. It seems not to work.
Hey, you know what? Regardless of why this won't connect right now, all of the steps I've showed you still apply. Okay, so we did a dashboard update. We explained what all the configuration fields were in the configuration channel. I showed you how to set your ID, how to set the color code, the frequency, all that kind of good stuff. So whether it connects or not, obviously we want it to connect. But it's not that we've done anything wrong. It's just for whatever reason it's not connecting right now. So I am going to reboot it because I bet you money this fixes it. For whatever reason, man, Pi Stars are a little bit weird. Sometimes you'll make changes and you're just like, why is this not doing what I think it'll do? I think it should be doing right now. And you reboot it and magically it comes back. So I guess Bill Gates had a little bit of help in writing Pi Star.
Bill Gates?
Yeah, because you have to reboot Windows every time to get it to work. I guess. That's my guess. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have any idea. But we'll get through it. It's all good.
Someone said, I think it was TO, it is red because the Pi isn't connected to the DMR networks on the internet.
Correct.
So is there a way that we can see if it's actively hitting the internet? Just for troubleshooting things?
Yeah, there's a way to log into the DMR dashboard, but I haven't done that in a long time. So, yeah, Don says your Morcerino build failed and you fixed it. That helped me more than all the other ones that worked. Yeah. That was actually fun, man. I had fun doing that.
Agreed.
That was fun.
That's why and we do try to do the troubleshooting live.
Yeah.
Except when someone misses the audio.
Right. Right. Totally.
40 minutes of video, just no audio.
Oh, on that one you recorded?
Yes,
yeah. That was good. Okay. All right. Let's go in here to expert mode and let's go to IRDC gateway. No. Let's go to MMDVM host. Da, da, da. Okay, you can turn off.
Batteries died?
Okay. Yeah, batteries died. So that's right there. Enable DMR is enabled. Beacon, color code. Wonder why that color code's set to. Well, no, that's right. That's right.
Is there a way to pull up a quick command line and the ape says ping Google from the hotspot?
Yes. Yeah, you can totally do that. Okay, so that's the correct password that is set for the DMR network. The IP address, I assume that's right. That's your port. Your password is PASSW0RD, which is correct. That's the password for all Brandmeister master servers. Secure. It's not really meant to be a security thing. It's just an extra connection type thing. So, let's see. SSH access, and we can go to Pi-Star. Password. Bump. There's that. Okay, now you see this right here. It says Pi-Star at TGI Pi-Star RO. RO is read only. So if I want to change it to read write, RPI RPI-RW, and it changes it to read write. So now I can make changes that will actually matter to it. So, ping is not permitted. ICMP open socket, not operation, not permitted. I wasn't sure if you could do that or not. plug it into an Ethernet connection. Yeah, that would do it. You're right. Or that might do it. I don't know.
Well,
I mean, I don't think it's a...
We're on Wi-Fi.
Right, yeah. We're connected to it via Wi-Fi. I don't really think that is the issue. So, configuration. DMR data dumped. Turn on to dump GPS and talker alias to MMDVM host log file.
We're getting yelled, sudo, or sue.
Yeah. Oh, sudo ping? Well, that might work. That might work. Turn that off. That was on by default, so I didn't turn it on, but perhaps. Turn that off. Still not there. Configuration expert. Nope. SSH. That's what I want right there.
That dash and pi star gets me all the time, though.
Oh, yeah.
Logging in, I just type pi star. There it is.
There it is. Internet connection. Can't beat that. Yeah, so...
No, I don't think it's a firewall thing.
It's not a firewall.
It's been working before. We just reset it for the stream.
Right, exactly. I had this up and working, and I did a factory reset on it about an hour before I started the stream. What I can do is...
Just out of curiosity, where are those factory reset
options? Right here. If you click on configuration, then you open up this whole thing right here. You go to factory. If you just click on factory reset, it'll ask you, do you want to proceed? Yes.
I could not find that the other day.
It does a script.
I just reloaded the whole
If you're in the dashboard, it won't show.
Mm-hmm.
You got to go into the configuration menu, and it's right there.
There it is.
So, yeah.
Clear as day.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. So, that's a little bit weird. Okay, let's switch. I'm going to switch views over here to this one. And I'm going to look up another screen real quick. Oh. Go ahead while I'm doing this.
Nope. Let's go back to say, hey, y'all, what's going on? We are doing a t-shirt giveaway.
Right.
If you want a Ham Radio 2.0 t-shirt, go ahead and put a super chat donation into the chat, and I'll go ahead and grab the names. Other than that, how's your Sunday going?
Right. 14. Okay.
Did someone just donate? I didn't see it.
No, somebody joined. Somebody joined. Okay, so let's switch over to this. Now, when all else fails, just have another hotspot.
Cheating.
So cheating. This is my Bridgecom. This is the Pi board on the back of the Bridgecom repeater. Okay, and you can see it's running the same dashboard version, 1028, and it's on 3.4.11. Which one? This one's on. Oh, that one's a little bit newer, actually, 3.4.17. So, but you can see these are green right here.
Yes.
So, and it's got listening and TRX right here, and time slot 1 and 2 are enabled because it is in duplex DMR mode, or I'm sorry, duplex repeater mode. So, let's see. It's, quite frankly, guys, it's probably something obvious I'm missing here, although it shouldn't really. It shouldn't really matter.
We could do a side-by-side comparison real fast.
Well, I can do that.
Let's just look at the config.
I can do that. So here's your config.
Windows arrow left, Windows arrow right.
Right, yeah. Let me, Pi star. Oh, I did change that one. Okay. Nope. There we go. Okay. Okay. Perfect. So there's that. Yeah, see, duplex repeater is selected right here. That's because it's actually sitting on the back of a repeater. KC5 HWB repeater. You have a transmit and a receive mode because it is acting as a duplex repeater, so it's got an offset like any repeater does. And I do have this node type set to public. So there's that. C-Bridge is DMR Master C-Bridge. Yeah, this one's connected to my C-Bridge. So, and all of these are default, and that right there. So yeah, should be. The only thing I see that's different is the node type is set to public. I mean, I guess I could try that. I'm pretty sure I've never done that before. The URL, let's just put that shouldn't matter either. USA is the country. If it doesn't see US as a proper country, that could do it. Okay, let's try that and see if that makes any difference. I don't think that's gonna do it, but
I don't know. The URL shouldn't do it.
The URL doesn't matter.
The USA potentially.
The USA could do it. That could be it.
But come on,
I don't really.
US is a common abbreviation for USA.
I don't really think that's it. But I don't know. Stranger Things and all that. Let's see.
Dashboard.
The admin is the admin view. Yeah, see, it's not connecting, but it should be that. I mean, that should be all the stuff you need to get it to connect. So there might be something wrong in like the expert. I mean, here's live logs. I haven't changed anything on the back end, but perhaps resetting it to factory fudged something up that I'm not aware of. But you can see clearly right here, host name, call sign, DMR ID, which is my repeater ID. Since I have this one connected to a repeater,
maybe it's rejecting it because it's seeing two IDs.
No, I changed. That's what this drop down here is for. It's not. Yeah, this one. That's what this drop down here is for. So I've got, well, first of all, number one, 314837 is my repeater ID. That's not the ID I have on this guy right here. Start logging, please wait. I'll just wait for that. And then
check the Brandmeister account for the hotspot. Security is off.
Well, number one, I've connected to it before, and I don't know why the security would be off. Number two, we also tried to connect it to TGIF, so which is a totally different network. So
all right, so here's some stuff here. Cannot
get the control attributes for I'm not sure what that means.
I wonder if it will try to reconnect during it, or is it only trying to connect once when it starts up?
148.141. Yeah, see, if I go here and I say, okay, let's go ahead and do TGIF right there. I'm just going to connect to a totally different network that doesn't have anything to do with Brandmeister at all. I mean, I did this a minute ago. We'll go ahead and see. Just like that.
Yep, Mike. Yep, Matt. Yeah, there was a SpaceX NASA launch today.
Oh, that's right.
They launched 4 astronauts successfully up to orbit, and that's where I fell off of it for the stream. Hope that they're all going well, and this is the first paid commercial crew program. 4 astronauts. The other launch was Demo 1 or 2, and that was it was 2. Demo 1 was uncrewed. Demo 2 was crewed. But that was to prove the whole system and everything.
Right.
Knowing all that, I still can't hear a satellite. I tried this morning for an hour and a half. Could not hear a satellite.
Oh, you tried it again today?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I've been sitting at Founders Plaza. with my are you rebooting again?
Yeah.
Okay. With my tape measure 2-meter Yagi antenna.
Yeah.
I tested the antenna today. I pointed it towards a couple of repeaters where I knew they were in the local area, and I can hear them. I can key them. So it's working.
Oh, it is working. Okay.
It's working.
Okay.
Now, I don't know how good a directionality that Yagi is, because I tried to turn it from where I knew the repeater was and also change the polarity, and I was still hearing it in completely wrong direction. So I don't know if it's a good Yagi antenna. It just might be a dipole antenna in the end. So
well,
that's why I'm looking at getting another antenna.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. If you can key the repeater and hear it, it seems like that would be okay, but you're probably just not hitting the satellite.
Well, I'm not trying to transmit yet. I just want to hear it.
Right, you just want to hear it. No, I understand. Yeah. All right. Well, guess what? I don't know I don't really want to sit here and troubleshoot all night long. But in a perfect world, everything I just showed you should allow you to connect, and it should come up to the dashboard, and this should be green. Now, again, I have seen it a couple of times where I've set it up, and I had to sit here for like 3 or 4 or 5 minutes, and it finally turned green on its own. But I don't know why that would be. See, it says, TGIF network is the master. And it's definitely not, when it's red like that, it's not connected. And I'm not sure why. So I may have to contact Robert, who has this, he's the one who built this hotspot, and say, dude, I'm probably missing something. It's probably something I'm doing that's wrong. But I can't figure out what it is, because it's not obvious what it is, because everything I have in here is fine.
Yeah, it looks set up correctly to me. The only thing I might try, just on the DMR ID under the DMR configuration section, scroll down. Just swap off that 15 or change it to none or 1.
Well, I had it at 1 at first.
Okay.
I can change it to none, and that should be okay.
But that's the only thing.
Yeah.
Everything else.
I mean, I don't think that's what it is. Let's change that and see what happens there.
Custom port? No, those should be all pre-configured, because it should be the same across all the Pi-Star networks.
Right, 62031 is the and we just looked at that. We just looked at make sure that the port was set correctly. And I've used multiple hotspots on this network on that default port for Pi-Star. That's
Jeffrey's saying just try power cycling, not just rebooting it.
No, I could try that. So let's shut down.
Those buttons are still hilariously big.
I know, yeah, they're huge, aren't they? Yeah. Please wait 30 seconds for it to fully shut down before removing power. So, okay. Good. So I'll try that, and then we'll try to do that. But had the same thing happen in my hotspot. Brandmeister Self-Care had changed hotspot security, turned on and turned off, connected. Yeah, Ivan, but I'm trying to connect to TGIF. So it's a totally different network. So I really think it's something in this hotspot itself. IKEA4 says you have to yell at it.
What?
That's why I have Frank here.
I'll go down for the joke.
That heat sink on the bottom is kind of warm. I mean, I could touch. It's not so warm I can't hold my finger on it, but I'm like, yeah, that's a little bit warm. I'll get my G90 H1 fan that doesn't have a cover on the bottom of it, that I keep sticking my finger in and put it on top of there. Okay. Put that there like that. You know what? Oh, you know what? Let me try something real quick. Although, no, I don't think that's going to be it, but let me try it anyway.
New cable?
No. I will try.
While he figures that out. William, thank you for the donation. He needs a new t-shirt.
Oh, good.
I'd like to get some T-shirts eventually. I need to pay someone to give me good logos.
Shirts are good.
So I am not good at graphics.
Okay, let's try that now.
We are up to 14 entries tonight.
That's good.
Yep.
That's real good. Yeah, thanks everyone for being here. We've been going almost 2 hours. Going through this has been time consuming.
Mm-hmm. Time flies when you're troubleshooting.
I know it. I know. Let's see. Continue.
So what did you just do? Did you move it to a different power
I moved it to a different power plug in the wall socket.
Okay.
A different wall socket. I have seen, now this hasn't been acting weird. What I have seen, I have experienced in the past, not with this hotspot, but with some other AllStar hotspots, is sometimes it just acts weird. I'm like, man, why is it acting so weird? It's slow, it's sluggish, it doesn't respond. You put a change in and you click apply changes and it acts like it restarts services and it comes back and those changes didn't take. If you have a bad power supply for the Pi, it'll do weird stuff. Now, I've never seen it to where it would do everything I asked it to do, but not connect online. I've never seen that. But I thought, well, let's try that and see if that makes any difference. I'm just put it in another plug socket just for the heck of it. So, wait for it there. So I bought an FT70DR and I am still trying to figure it all out. Yeah, that's FT70 is a good radio.
We're talking about apps to use for satellite tracking.
Oh, yeah.
I'm using Heavens Above right now. I think it's a little nicer and cleaner than AMSAT, especially in the timelines where you can see what satellites are coming up in the future. And I find it a little bit more easier to figure out downlink and uplink frequencies using it. That being said, all that's coming from a person that has not successfully heard a satellite yet.
Right. Yeah. True.
So take that as you will.
Take that. Yeah. Well, have you tried another app besides the Heavens Above?
AMSAT a little bit, but I find it kind of difficult to figure out what satellites are coming up next.
Oh, I see.
And where they particularly are. Heavens Above, you can, do the star view type thing of holding it up and it will show you approximately where in the sky that satellite is at that time to help you trace it. But if I get the bug, I want to build me a tracker box. So you put the antenna on and it tracks the satellite for you.
Sure. Okay.
And then that will be mounted on my house.
There you go. Okay.
No change.
So no change. Okay. So I'm going to guess that when I did a factory, you know what it did do? This surprised me. When I did a factory reset, it saved all my Wi-Fi info. Basically, all it did was reset this configuration page right here. It took out my call sign, my ID, my URL. It turned all of these buttons off, which the only one I had turned on was DMR mode. And it reset all of that, but it did not reset my Wi-Fi. The 5 different Wi-Fi networks that were in there. Like I said, there's 3 of them that I don't even. It's probably somewhere I went and they had something there.
I wonder if it reset more than what the default config was. It cleared more than what it needed to.
Well, I mean, it's possible, but I've done a factory reset before and not had a problem with it afterwards.
Yep.
So I don't think that's what it was, but I don't know. Obviously, you know what? Let me turn this off. I'm going to turn on D-Star. I'm going to try to connect to another network besides DMR. see what that says. The Nexion screen, it does keep saying waiting for data, so it's not actually showing me the data that I would think it should show me. And let's go, okay, Reflector 14 Alpha is generally where Bob hangs out.
Oh no. You got the swear jar?
Yeah, yeah. I'm just going to see if it connects.
Denzel asks, you got a backup?
Hotspot?
Did you back up the file?
Oh, no, I don't care. I've got so many hotspots. No, I haven't actually used this hotspot in a while. It was, I connected it. I was like, okay, it's all good and working good. Let's reset it. And then, okay, so it's connecting to D-Star Net right there. Network status is D-Star Net.
Then why is
but
that
the modes enabled is still...
Yeah.
Still not working. Okay, you know what? I'm going to guess that there's something off with this hotspot after because like I said, I booted it up. I saw that it was outdated. I was like, good, it's outdated. I'll go ahead and do an update on the live stream tonight. And then I connected. It was connected to Brandmeister 3103, and I tried that, and I was like, everything's good. And then I went ahead and did a factory reset on it. And I thought, and then I made sure it came back up. I was able to log into it, no problem. Default password of Raspberry. And then and then for whatever reason, after entering all my information back into it, it does not want to connect. But regardless of that, there's probably something on the back. There's probably something in like the MMDVM host files or somewhere back on the back end that is not configured correctly. If you go through the steps I did and follow and enter your frequency, your DMR ID if you're doing DMR, enter and all the other stuff that we did, it should connect right up. I mean, it's connecting Pi-Star is really not that difficult. You just got to make sure it's up to date, or it's advisable to make sure it's up to date, and then connect all that other, and then put in all your other information in it, and it should come right up. So I'm going to guess there's something wrong with this on the back end, and maybe I need to do...
Probably we just pull the SD card, restore the image.
Could do that. Yeah, maybe I will do that. I'm not going to do it tonight.
Yeah.
but I might do that. So I tell you what, guys, I will do a follow-up. I'm going to do a lunchtime live stream this coming Wednesday. So I'll do some research between now and then and see if I can figure it out. And we'll talk about it again on the lunchtime live stream, because I'm kind of curious now. I'm curious what would keep it from connecting, because everything else is working. And what would keep it from connecting to the actual DMR server? And even the modes enabled right now still says red and D-Star. Now it connects to the D-Star network, but the mode, hold on. Yeah, no, all that's good. So it connects to the D-Star network. I may not be, no, that should be fine. Remote password. I wonder if that's, I may have to set my remote password for D-Star. So that could be something to consider right there. So we'll see. All right. Well, we've been going for 2 hours, and I need to thank my patrons, and I need to talk about that. How many do we have?
14.
14 people who've donated super chat tonight.
Wait. We can bump it up to 28. Just put every other name, Frank.
Every other name, Frank. Yeah. Michael says the Pi is not recognizing the MMDVM update. Update the MMDVM. Try that. Well, I did that already. But yeah, I'll
What line or word clued you into on that one? What do you think?
Might be something that he's done before. Yeah. Why do you think it's not being recognized?
I'm not trying to put you on the spot. I'm just trying to see what I'm missing.
Right. Throw it in the washer and dryer. That's good.
No, I think the pie just needs to be baked a little longer. Just throw it in the oven.
That's right. Yeah. Make sure you have the right modem. Yeah, I have the right modem. I know I have the right modem.
Well, the modem won't stop us from connecting to the network. It will stop us from keying it up.
Right. Correct. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah. Nuke it and start over. That's good.
Well, that was my suggestion.
Yeah, that was my suggestion. Yeah, exactly. So we'll try to do the.
He's talking about the firmware update on MMDVM.
Yeah. Okay, so I ran the update again. Let's see.
You know what? It might just be a bad update.
It could have been. Maybe that's what he's talking about, a bad update. I ran the MMDVM up. You remember how it failed the first time, then it retried?
Yes.
It didn't do that this time.
But it says everything's done, though. No updates. No updates for user/bin available. No updates for SBIN. No updates for host file.
That's true.
So it looks like it did.
It looks like it
retried and successfully grabbed something.
Right. I don't know. Well, it's always it's worth. I mean, it's worth trying it. I mean, nothing else is worked. It might as well.
That update is for PyStar, not the firmware.
You talk about the firmware on the screen,
or the hat board that's sitting on top of.
Oh, that yeah.
But that was already working, according to Jason.
Right? Yeah, that was already working before. So
clear it out.
That could be it, but I don't think. Actually, the PyStar firmware, the PyStar version, is newer than the other one I have inside running on my repeater, which is working right now. So this one's 3.4.17. This one is 3.4.11. So. And that one's nice and cool. You'll see right now. That one's in the house. Mm-hmm. Not out here. So, boom. Yeah, that's still not it. Turn that off. Apply changes. Anyway, okay. So we've been going too long. So I don't know. We could sit here and troubleshoot all night, and I might get it. I might not get it. I don't know. But you know what? The joys of ham radio.
Yep.
So I'm curious now. I'm gonna do some more tinkering with it probably tomorrow, and see if I can figure out something that I missed, and then I might do a follow-up video to that. TGIF network, yeah, apply changes, and see if I can get it to connect, because I do not know what else to try. It's got to be something on the back end from where we factory reset it. Almost has to be. So that is that. Okay. Let's read the names off. Just read the first names or the call sign or whatever.
You're going to have me do this?
Yeah, just read them.
All right. We have Danzel. Thank you for donating. Chester, DX Mini, T-Man, Kenneth, Etho, Low Country HD or Hider, Rosa, Jim, IK04, Dan, Ozzy 3, Jamie, and William. All gave us super chats today.
Cool. Good. Okay. So and that's, you said that was 14?
14.
Okay, so let's switch over here and go to,
or programmers count 0 to 13.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to go here, and 1 to 14, 10's just what came up. I'm going to click the button once. I've got minimum 1, maximum 14. And number 14.
William
New. Okay. Oh, yeah. He was just typing in the chat. Okay, yep. William, you have won the T-shirt or random item on shop.hamradio2.com. Go check out what you want. Send me an email, because I can't get your contact information from YouTube. They don't share that for privacy reasons, which is good that they don't share that. So send me an email after you look and see what you want. It's kc5hwb@gmail.com. If you can't get me on that for whatever, I mean, there's no way you can't get me on that. I in my email 20 hours a day, but drop a comment here in the video once it goes live and let me know where to contact you. But just shoot me an email. That's the easiest thing. kc5hwb@gmail.com. And we will.
William's call sign is KC8YZR.
Okay, all right. If you're
Ape says, "Get the Ape shirt."
yeah, he would. So, okay, KC8YZR. Did you write that down?
I can.
Yeah, put that on there. And if you're good on, QRZ, I can contact you that way. Cool. So, awesome. Sometimes a factory reset knocks the MMDVM firmware off. I don't remember how to do an MMDVM firmware update on the board. I've done that before, but it's been a while. I'll have to look that up again. I bet you can find that on YouTube. In fact, that might be a good new episode to record upcoming. All right. So let me go over here. And I want to fix that first. Cut that off. Okay, good. So I want to give a special thanks to my patrons. Patrons kind of make the world go round as far as this channel goes, as well as YouTube members. We're up to about 90 YouTube members right now. And for the YouTube members, I'm going to do a special live stream upcoming on one of these Wednesdays that is a YouTube member live stream. It'll be available to everybody, but it'll just be the members will be the only ones allowed to chat. We're just going to kind of talk about whatever y'all want to talk about. So special thanks to those guys as well. But right now, my my latest patrons for the $8.25 a month, which equals out to $99 a year, what I call the members, and the larger ones are David Potter, Andrew Corum. Both of those guys just joined recently, so thank you to you both. Andrew Magnet, David Byrne, Kevin Adams, Richard Bueller, Dan Gabrielson, Park Cities Amateur Radio Club, Christopher Wiggins, Rob Matheson.
Sorry.
It's all right. Michael, Andy Callie, Greg Roeder, Mike Adams, Todd Agostini, Robert Lyons, Craig Boyer, Dennis G, Oof Radio, Richard Swartz, Lewis Klein, Robert Bresman, Randall Hall, Hawk Bennett, James Dallas, Paul Sweeney, LNX Guy. LNX Guy is who we should call for the Linux stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
Bill Brady, David Kettrick, and Mike in Texas. Thank you very much to all the patrons out there. Patreon.com/Ham Radio. That's where we keep going and keep growing the channel. We're up to 53,000 subscribers now. I'm almost at 500 videos on YouTube. And we've got some really cool stuff upcoming for not next week, the week after next for Black Friday shopping deals. I've already been in contact with several vendors. They're really excited to share some of their specials and deals with us. And we're going to have a video every day that week. We'll do a video on Monday and Tuesday. Going to do a live stream on Wednesday before Thanksgiving like I normally do. We're going to do a Black Friday live stream on Friday. And then I'll do something for Cyber Monday the following Monday. I haven't decided exactly what to do yet, but I've done that for this will be the third year in a row I've done that. Those have always done really well. A lot of good interaction, a lot of good feedback from the audience. So really looking forward to doing that again. So 73, everyone, thank you very much for being here tonight. Sorry we couldn't actually get it done. But like I said, if you go through and enter everything into a brand new hotspot that I did, it should connect right up. You don't really have to go in and do any programming or any extra hacking. It could be a firmware issue, but it worked on this firmware beforehand. So unless there's some kind of really bad mismatch between the firmware it's running and the new dashboard that we updated on the live stream tonight, I guess that could do it. But it seems odd.
It could be, but
it could be, but I don't think that's it. I think that's probably something. I think it's probably something else. But I'm gonna research it. I'm gonna figure out what it is, and then when I do that, I'll probably record a video, and I might take chunks of this video and put it in the beginning of that video, and then I say, okay, here it is, because you know what? You know what's cool about finding problems on video? You're probably not I'm probably not the first one who this has ever happened to.
No, but
so now that I've found this problem, I'm going to go research, find out how to fix it, and then do a video on, okay, here's what we did, here's what broke, here's why it broke, here's how to fix it, here you go. And that's what, and I've done that before. And sometimes people come along and say, wow, you made a lot of mistakes on that video. Why didn't you cut all that out? I'm like, because other people make mistakes too. I want you to see what it looks like when it's broken and then how to fix it.
Well, and I completely agree.
Yeah.
And that's why I want to do more supercuts of me trying to get stuff like this going.
Right.
Because if you watch my stream and you see me struggle,
if
that same problem comes up, you'd be like, I remember that.
Right.
Then you come back to my video, give me a second view, and then see how I solved it.
Right. Totally. All right, guys. 73. Thanks for being here tonight. Sticking around with us for more than 2 hours. I really appreciate everyone's feedback and participation in the chat tonight. Join us tomorrow night for Monday Night Ham Radio, starting, I think, around 4:30 or 5 p.m. Central Time. Several YouTubers will have videos posted tomorrow. A lot of good content there. And then we'll be back on the live stream this coming Wednesday at noon Central Standard Time. So 73, thanks for being here tonight, and we will catch you guys this week.
73.